Honorable Jarigbe Agom, you're wearing two hats now. A member of the House and a senator-elect. I think a congratulation is in order based on the judgment of today. And at this level, I think this is the last point of this legal battle. Is it, Honorable?
Thank you very much, Sean. It's actually the final court on this issue.
Okay, so congratulations. So, but you've been fighting so many battles. Aside you fighting, battling with Senator Ode in court over whether or not you are the candidate, you've also been battling to get your certificate of return presented to the Senate President, and you've also been advocating that you should be sworn in since April or so that you were issued the certificate of return. But now that this has happened, how does this come to you, first and foremost, before we discuss where to go from here?
Anyway, you are aware that the appeal court had given a judgment on this issue, and Stephen Ode applied to join, and he appealed to the Supreme Court. His appeal was struck out. That means the judgment of the appeal court was upheld. But when that was presented, my certificate of return was presented to the Senate President. They didn't write back to me, but all I gathered was that the judgment was not very clear, that it was ambiguous. And I should get a clarification of the judgment and all of that. I wrote to the Attorney General of the Federation to give some legal advice as to what the Senate President should do in line with the judgment of the appeal court, which was upheld by the Apex Court. And that was forwarded to the Senate President by the Attorney General of the Federation. What I read was neither here nor there, and the Senate President did not get me sworn in. The case at the tribunal was filed by Joagi's son of the APC. I was a respondent. Stephen Ode was a respondent in that case. The case was decided in favor of Stephen Ode, and the tribunal upturned the position, or attempted to upturn the position of the appeal court, which is a superior court, and the Apex Court on the issue of candidature. That judgment was given. Joagi appealed to the appeal court. I also came up with a cross appeal. And my lawyers put up their positions and relied on the principle of stare decisis. And that judgment was given today in my favor, because the issue of candidature was settled at the appeal court, upheld at the Apex Court, and the tribunal went ahead to still make pronouncements on the issue of candidature and gave it to Stephen Ode. In the judgment of the appeal court, the presiding judge said that that was a mockery of the judiciary.
All right. So, exactly what the court of appeal actually in Calabar was the one who declared Honorable Jarigbe Agom of the People's Democratic Party as the duly elected senator for the Cross River North Senatorial District, removing Senator Stephen Ode, representing Obuduyala Federal Constituency, who was declared winner at the lower tribunal on the 18th of June 2021. A three-man appeal tribunal headed by Honorable Justice Choma also accepted the argument that Jarigbe was the lawful candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the December 5th, 2020 by-election for the seat and invalidated the certificate of return earlier issued to Stephen Ode by INEC. The court, in a consolidated suit, ruled that the lower tribunal erred when they ignored judgments of Superior Court that earlier resolved Jarigbe as a rightful candidate of the PDP. So Honorable Jarigbe Agom is still speaking with us. But if you look at what is happening now, Honorable, are you going to receive or get another certificate of return, or the one that you already have sufficed?
I went through the enrolled order, and it stated there unequivocally that the certificate of return issued to Stephen Ode is withdrawn, and that the certificate of return issued to me is validated immediately. I have a certificate of return, and that has not been withdrawn. It has been validated.
So what would you be doing next now? It does look like you've not had it smooth having your way despite all of the efforts you made to the leadership of the Senate. So what is your next step of action?
The excuse given by the Senate ab initio was the fact that the judgment had no consequential orders, and that the Supreme Court did not specifically say that the certificate of return issued to Stephen Ode should be withdrawn. That has been so cured by the pronouncements of the court and the latest judgment by the appeal court today, which is the final court on this issue.
The National Assembly is on recess, so you perhaps will have to wait, isn't it? But should any of this issue come up, because the last time I had you on the program on this same matter, you perhaps did not envisage that you were not going to be sworn in. And there's been a lot of advocacy for your certificate of return to be recognized and you being sworn in. But, I mean, should any of this happen, if envisaged that you're not recognized again, what would you do?
I'm a member of the National Assembly. I think at the time there was a lacuna. And so there was a window for excuses. Right now, the court has stated what their position is, and the certificate of Stephen Ode has been withdrawn, and mine validated immediately. And it's the same certificate of return that has everybody in the Senate as member of the Senate and has qualified them to be senators. And mine is not going to be different.
Senator Stephen Ode is your brother because you are from the same senatorial district, and you perhaps you speak the same dialect. You have a lot in common. You're a member of the same political party. But what vision do you have for the people of your senatorial district that gives you the confidence to pursue this matter to this very point?
Anyway, I'm not a rookie. I've been in the House of Reps. I'm a member of the National Assembly. I have my programs all set out. The only thing that this will do is that instead of just representing Ogoja Yala, I will be representing Obudu Bekwara Obanliko as senator. So I now have 5 LGAs. And it's to extend my programs, my activities, to the other 3 LGAs so that they can benefit from the dividends of democracy properly.
What exactly will that be? And what will be your primary focus?
It's always been human capital development and infrastructural development. It's also as clear as crystals that in terms of infrastructural development, I have projects in each of my wards that make up my federal constituency. And I will extend that to the other 3, to other LGAs, Obudu Bekwara Obanliko. In terms of human capital development, the facts speak for itself. I've done a lot for my people, and I can only do more by the grace of God.
In terms of lawmaking, I know quite a few of your constituents who are not sure whether they are Cameroonians or they are cross-Ivorians because of the border issue and some of the years of contention of issue of border and issue of poverty and issue of negligence, according to them, that there's been clamor within some of the communities in your constituent. What are you going to be doing in that respect?
Well, I don't know the area you're talking about. I don't represent the Agom area. I don't represent the Buki area. When sworn in as senator representing Cross River North, I will have up to Obanliku, and I know that the borders are clearly delineated, and we don't have any issues between us and the Cameroons.
But you've not told us because I've visited and I've covered issues in that area before. So I'm speaking from some of the plight of those people that I've heard. But if that perhaps has not come to your notice, primarily, what would be your focus, legislative-wise, as a senator?
If it has to do with the borders with the Cameroon, it has to be something that will be handled at the national level. The border commission is there. I will look at the issues and come up with a motion on the challenges of our people, if there exist. And I think the authorities will handle them. I don't think
because
that
I know
if there are such issues, our government will be complacent.
On a final note, and this is very brief, your governor, a former PDP governor, was moved to the APC. Are you considering following him to the APC?
My governor is very, with all sense of respect, he is very ubiquitous. He's everywhere. And I cannot afford to be that kind of politician.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Honorable Jarigwe Agom, Senator-elect of the Cross River North Central District, based on the judgment of court today. Thank you so much for coming today. And Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan, thank you so much also for your time. But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimale. Have a wonderful Friday evening.